bringing my son out. I think.
Morning. Looks like a nice library there, Paul.
Good to see you. How you doing, Doug?
Okay, my friend. How about you?
Doing well.
I like your library.
Thank you.
I have not quite that many. I'm in my office, and around the corner is a bigger room, and I've got bookshelves full of a lot of books that I have collected over the years, or been given to me. When I was in the media business a lot, I had people sending me books. I mean, golf books, PGA Tour, picture books, photographic books. I mean, so I got some great stuff, but I wish I had the time to sit down and read them all. I've read some of them, but not all of them. But I got a nice wall full of books and shelves. So
Golf books are bestsellers. Could you hear me?
hang on, I got the Haunted Village going.
Thank you, that's very good. And first item I want to introduce, we've got a guest here, I gave him his name, you might know him all, James Kim Davey, you're the president of the Times Shares. Of course, John Robinson, great to see you, and you'll be on the agenda here a little later on. So great, well.
Good to be here.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot for having me.
Absolutely. So that's first thing is the approval of the minutes, September 26th, 24 minutes. Do I hear a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Is there a second? Second. All approve, say yes, all approve, say aye. Aye, and it's approved. Very good. Let's go right into the marketing update. Doug, you're on.
Hey, well, I'm not, hey, Sharon, I'm gonna have to zoom back in somehow. All I got is Zoom across my screen. I'm gonna log out of that and relog back in. When I was talking to Paul a little while ago. There we go.
Yeah, we're not getting a video, Sharon.
I'm working on it.
Working on it. I see the minutes. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got the minutes now.
Yeah,
I don't see anybody else though.
you better calm down. Sing the wrath of Sharon.
Now we are.
There we go. Now we see a few people. I like that minutes, whatever you had there, Karen. That was nice. Hey, good morning, everybody. Just lost my Sharon can't. Oh, well, you got my stuff, but there we go. Never mind. It's working. Thank you. Happy Halloween to everybody. I hope everybody has a great Halloween day. We do a lot of stuff in our subdivision here every Halloween. So sorry I'm not up there. Just got a few things going on this afternoon. It was just going to be too time consuming. So we'll get back up there next month or whatever. But here's a few things that we've been doing and still doing, and things happen like this morning. I already had another media person write me, and he wants to come up and see some stuff, and so I'm going to call him after we get off here. So that's what I mean. Things happen all the time, even from the time I sent this in yesterday. But that just got bigger. Thank you very much, Sharon. I don't need to take my glasses off. Anyway, still working with Golf Media One. I can't tell you how important this is, because this gets our name out there to tens of thousands of people a couple of times month. So that's perfect, you know, and this is not costing anything. And very excited about this, and he'll keep doing the sponsorship, which is below, and then also do the article, and we'll change up that article. So, and we're talking about doing something together and making things bigger. So I'm excited about that. Most of you probably know, but the women's event from the Georgia State Golf Association did not take place. They only had 28 people sign up, and those said this was not beneficial to have the event. I spoke to my contact there at the Golf Association, and we didn't go into great details, but you know, who knows, time of year, I don't have a clue. We're going to work on that because I really wasn't expecting this. But I'm going to be meeting with him in January to talk about 25 and 26 to have events up there. And then we will work on a little harder way to make sure things happen. If we need to do something to better that, then we will do that because they've been so pleased with Sky Valley. I hate that. I know Ryan's probably going to talk about that a little more. This is Sharon. Can you keep going down since you took my page? Keep going, keep going, keep going. Number 3 and 4, 5, whatever. Whoop, back up, back up, back up. All right, WSB, I've told you a little bit about this. This is from what we did for PGA, for Sky Valley. And so we've got a connection now, and I've made some effort and went to meet with them. I think I told you last month. And so they're very excited, and they want to work with me on doing a tourism show. And they want to start that in February of 25. So I've been told just to hang tight. They would get back to me and we'll find out more about this, but this will be something that we can certainly use with Sky Valley. I do not know any of the details yet, but they seem to be very pleased with what I can help them do marketing wise and other things. So it's almost November, so we've been working already on 2025 calendar for media partners, social media, articles, radio. So we should have some things coming up, magazines in the coming months. As I've said, it takes time to get the message out because we have to work it in with their schedule. They're usually pretty good about getting stuff done for me. And then I'll be back at the PGA show in January to meet with a lot of these people and firm up some more dates. But we'll be talking to them in the next couple of months as well. So things slow down a little bit, certainly in the golf industry. But we work hard at this time of year. It's probably my busiest time of year going forward. But enjoyed very much, had a great time up at the Fall Festival. And thought it was great. You know, got to see a few of y'all. I'm sorry I missed a few of you. But everything looked great. We even brought the dog, but we didn't have a costume for him, Gordon, so we didn't stay around to get involved with that. But so down below you can see a couple of articles. If Sharon put those in, I don't know if she did with this or not, but anyway, it doesn't matter. So we've been sending some stuff out on social media and just letting people know that, hey, this is what we've done. Great hay bales there for the marketing committee. I thought that was really good. Thank you, Jason, or whoever did the Georgia Golf Trail. Appreciate that. It's always good. I can certainly put that in. We took some pictures with that. Then Mike May, who you know, is working with me on getting a little something different, which I think is a great idea. As we all heard, pictures worth 1,000 words. So a lot of the magazine people love, just call them spread articles. about wherever we're going instead of talking about it for 700 words. So we will have maybe in all three, Ohio, Michigan, and Indiana Golf Journal, a 2-page spread on some beautiful just pictures with some words telling people, you know, what it is and how to get there and things like that. So excited about that. And so that's something that we've done in the past, but we'll probably, you know, maybe do it again in the future. It's a great way to get it out, and it's very, very simple for people who are helping me put stuff in these magazines, that they don't have to write an article and they can just put some stuff in there, especially this time of year. So people can get excited about going. Also, this guy that called me this morning, wrote me this morning, we've been trying to get more real estate involved down in Florida. He's over in Mobile. Some of y'all met him, Joey Johnson, when he came up, I guess May of last year, or it's been 2 years ago, I can't remember. So he's got a lot of connections and a big connection with the real estate market down there. So that would be great, because that's, I call it the panhandle, you know, over there to Mobile. So I'll know more about that when I talk to him later. But things are good. Seeing Sky Valley, different places. Going to be starting to arrange the meetings with PGA Show and have some information to these people ahead of time, so they know we can try to get them up to Sky Valley. Problem with a lot of this is they come from everywhere, as you know. Trying to get them up to Sky Valley into Georgia. So we'll try to get them to maybe see North Georgia and then maybe South Georgia. So we can't do all that in 1 week. So it just depends on their schedule and go from there. So, but again, as I've said, everybody that I've ever had up there just absolutely loves the place. And so, and I send them all the information on things like the Fall Festival, so they can see it. You just kind of remember things like that. So that's all I have there, boss man.
Hey, just a quick question. We're working on the budgets now, preliminary budgets for next year. What do you see in terms of promotions? Any additional expenses that we need, et cetera, you know, that if we have a little extra money that we might want to do in terms of promotions?
Usually, Gordon, that's a great question. Usually we get different things that are thrown at us. Hey, can we do this? Can we do that? And, you know, in terms of costing money, you know, as you know, for the most part, everything that I get done is traded out, or, you know, because I help them or whatever. I don't like to add too much money. I mean, I do put some of the costs that I might have to have, you know, I just take it in and do it myself, and don't ask y'all. Certainly, you know, I haven't come back and said, hey, we need a couple more $1,000 for this. I'm always getting things. I don't have anything right now that just jumps out at me. Now, I could have 10 by the end of the day, you know, that people would love for me to do stuff with. But I try to make sure it's just not I never really want to do, you know, just different things that, you know, people aren't going to see for a long time. That's going to cost money. But I will reach out, see what we can, you know, think about. But right now, there's no extra cost in terms of the budget for 25.
We're looking at finishing budget this year, the next meeting. So in between time, if you have some ideas, send it my way, and we'll be discussing it.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, let me send you something. I can, you know, but I'm trust me, I'm a big person in terms of I love to trade stuff. So we just don't have to spend a lot of money. We don't have a lot of money. A lot of these people don't realize that we don't have a lot of money. And so we don't want to, you know, get in the habit of all of a sudden seeing Sky Valley somewhere, and the guy says, "Yeah, they bought that for me for $3,000 or whatever." Okay, Doug, you need to. Well, no. So I got to be careful with that type stuff. But I will definitely let me think about some things there, and get back to you.
Thank you. Very good, thank you for the report. Any questions? Committee? Let's go to the next item, discussion, the Ford Raven Marketing Board meeting report. Sharon, have any updates for us?
Yes, we met, this month, at the beginning of the month, and the budget was a big, topic because we're looking at what's left to be spent this year and maybe some surplus that's there. There are opportunities to get into some other things if we choose to do so. At this point, CJ's screening those. Our streaming agents, WSTV and Fox 5 are still our top performers. Magazines that we know will stay in are Atlanta Parent Magazine, Good Housekeeping, Women's Day, because they're strong in both print and digital. And we'll also continue with the Explore Georgia Travel Guide, Georgia's Great Places, and North Georgia Vacation Guides. And all will feature, some of them have our ads as well that we choose to do.
Questions at all? Great. Thank you for the report. Next item is the Raven County Joint Comprehensive Plan Survey update. We're delaying, and has that been completed? You know, at this point?
Jason, I don't believe that the comp plan has been completed at this
No,
time. Today was
it's,
the due date, but
It's been submitted to the state,
Yeah.
the ball's on their court, it's been reviewed. And, we pretty much have satisfied all of our public meetings. We provided all of our citizen input, and, now it's just up to the state to do, to make sure everything's in compliance. And once it is, the council may have to do a resolution accepting it, but right now, the ball's in the state's court. DCA, Department of Affairs is reviewing it right now.
So in terms of the next item, marketing committee, a MailChimp survey, we said we weren't going to send out that survey about, why people buy, the reasons for buying in Sky Valley. We still want to delay that until the survey is completed.
That's, really up to you all, I mean.
I would think maybe January would be the best time, but that's just me thinking, because
Yeah,
people are
so-
so busy with the holidays, but that's my opinion.
I don't see any MailChimp discussions on, the MailChimp, and we were looking at sending out a survey, why people buy in Sky Valley, and the reasons, and then try to get that updated.
Here is the survey, I don't know if I can zoom in.
Maybe you can look at the MailChimp survey, and we discussed that earlier, we've been delaying sending it out.
Did you want to see it?
Yeah, you want to mind looking at briefly? Yeah.
And I just sent this, I can't share it, but Doug and Paul, I sent the link to you.
Thank you.
Okay, so basically asking how long, what type of ownership.
Look at it slowly, look at it, see if there are any comments or any changes you want to do. This, this is a work of art, we can always change. Will this be sent to us?
Yes, it was sent, but yes,
Jack.
I mean, it was sent before you were here, Jack, so I'll be
So
sure.
you want to send it out to the board again? Okay, good. Yes,
Thank you.
this time we would delay until the plan was completed. So go through it.
Oh, seem to be stuck. A-Train, rate the factors that influenced you to be here.
Right.
And these, I would think are kind of important, what's so important here that you want to be here. People, came after COVID and I just guess stayed because they can work from home.
Now, is this something, you see something you want to add corrections, again?
And I'll send it to you.
Yeah, send it to us, send it to the, would you like to get a copy of this? Sure. Good, great.
Looks like some good information.
Okay, I'm not sure if I have both of your emails, but I'll email them.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an interesting survey. I think it hits a lot of things that we have not asked about before.
Right,
And it's not too wordy where people would just
Yeah.
trash it
Yeah.
because too
Right.
much.
yes.
It's just enough.
You think, suggested Sharon of January, probably makes sense, I'm okay with that, do you have any, until I kick it down, okay, yeah, great. And if there's any suggestions you have, different comments on the survey you'd like to add, you're welcome to look at it, great. Very good, Sharon. All righty, next item would be the, visitor fact sheet. This is something that we've been working on, and are we updated on it, maybe you can share that?
Nothing changed except, we took the school things off, but then, let me see if I can share it. 'cause-
Did you put any addition? There's a lot of questions that come up when people visit here about Scott Dad, a lot of how many people vote, there's a lot of different things, and we thought we'd come up with a simple fact sheet they can hand out, so that's a consistency, size of it, number of condos, number of person, different issues that come up here, so.
I can email that as well.
Right, Nick?
Good.
I can email that.
Yeah, great.
This is the information that, Jim shared with me,
Okay, okay, very good.
and I haven't
Let's
had
go over it.
time to put it in.
Okay,
However, I want you to see, well,
let's go over it.
yeah, let me zoom in a little bit.
I don't think.
Okay, so. Yeah, sometimes it gets a little crazy.
I left out a lot of things, Gary. I didn't dissect up. I didn't mention the Hertz. I didn't mention the black pigs.
Okay,
How long is this anyway?
that was his, and it's one page. What I did is I took it and put it into AI, and they made it 3 paragraphs, and then I took it again, read this and see what you think, because this definitely cuts it down. We may not want it this short, but see what you think.
Okay,
I like stunning starscapes. And could also mention that the astronomers will appreciate that we're a dark skies city.
I like the second one. What's your comments on it, committee, about, I like what you did on it, or a shorter version. Let's go over the other one and just.
Because we're probably gonna have to look at the fact sheet and decide if we put in everything, what's coming out, because we don't want it to be more than 2 pages.
Yeah, got it. Jane, your comments on this?
It's a first draft.
Yes.
I think there's a lot of room for, massaging it.
Okay,
Let's make
I
it
think
three.
our nature study opportunities, I mean, we've got a great natural history here. And if, putting it, help us build on
Okay.
that particular little community.
great. Well, since the season, can you add this on and then for the next
Yeah,
meeting?
I'll work it. Well, I'll send it to you before the next meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah,
Yeah, we'll work on it.
Yeah.
Okay, work on it again, great. I love that idea. Thank you for that.
Yeah,
Good.
apologize for taking so long.
Yeah, it's great. Comments on it at all? Jack, anything on it?
I'm good.
Paul? Anything?
Yeah, I think it's really unique. It's powerful.
Yes. Yeah, you see it, the comments, you had a chance to look at it, you were trying to keep a fact sheet on it and keep it somewhat simple, but also give you a lot of information. Okay, very good. We'll kick it down next meeting, we'll look at it, you have that all in. Thank you, Jim, for adding that.
Sure.
Okay, let's go into the stay and play, golfing priorities, stay and play, accommodations, just update, anything that's been happening?
I mean, right now, not so much. We're starting to get some big groups booking for next summer already, but no one's really reached out about accommodations yet. Myself and Bill, one of our board members, and Kim had lunch the other day and talked about some things with their website redesign that they're gonna be doing a spot on there for rentals. So we can have people look into that too, which can help you guys out, rather than just sending them to Airbnb or VRBO. So.
Yeah.
Something that would help, you had the dates on when it's coming, so we got a little heads up, maybe we can look at make some plans. And so,
Yeah, the tough thing is that, you know, I'm guessing the weekends are your busiest and most of those big groups are coming up Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
right,
Planned multiple days, so.
but we got spots.
But if you have spots open, even smaller groups, I mean, even if they're like 10 or 12 people, you know, just another avenue for them to find a place to stay.
Well, we're gonna aggressively go after that this coming.
Okay.
Great.
Summer, smaller groups are easier to handle. with the
Right,
summer.
I want to add something.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. You want to add this comment?
Well, it kind of piggybacks off what Ryan, once Ryan's done, I do.
No, I'm done.
I got this, speaking of stay and play and accommodations. I got this email yesterday from Sean Blanton. Sean does the bum run. It's always the last weekend of October. We talked with him in the past about being, but he's got it down to an art and science to the point that from a marketing, but he just says, you guys are truly amazing. We had a perfect weekend with perfect weather. Had 325 or so runners, plus likely another 300 friends and family come to Sky Valley for the weekend. I think we booked out most of the accommodations Friday and Saturday night. So with that being said, people looking for places to stay, that may be something that, next year, the fact it says, Saturday and Sunday, October 25th, 26th next year is when they will do that.
What's the date again?
October 25th and 26th of 25. It's always the last weekend in October.
Okay.
We have helped them out in the past. When I say we, the city, we, some signage, we provided some money for bottled water and things like that. We didn't this year, they didn't ask for it.
Right, they didn't ask for
But
it.
in the past, we have, and I just want to say, as you're looking at these
Right.
stay and play, again, I've reached out to Sean about maybe coming in and speaking, but he just says, we've got our marketing down to the point that, they kind of have it covered, but I just wanted to share that, that is I know we kind of focus on golf and other things, but that is a big thing that we have every year. Is
That's a big deal.
that's got to-
What is their full name?
It is, I think it's Bum Run Outdoors or Run Bum, it's either Bum Run or Run Bum. If you Google Bum Run, Sean Blanton, SEANBLANTON.
And I think ours is Sky to Summit.
Yeah, all races, the Sky to Summit.
That's exactly the kind of things we want to appeal to, see clean, people running around, young people, I said, there are age groups, kids, and it just, wow, what an appeal to this area. To me, that's what Sky Valley is all about. I just think, how people we, who they going to attract to this area. I'm
Sean what?
Sean Blanton, but it's SEAN, Sean. They sell out every year. They have people come from, I think, 5 countries and about
Wow.
30 different states every year. So from an exposure standpoint, we're discovering Sky Valley, 37 countries, I mean, that's pretty amazing.
So 20 or 30 years, they've been familiar with Sky Valley all this time.
Yeah.
Finally, they'll see the economic possibility of actually.
And not to put Sharon on the spot, Sharon's one of the greatest, helpers of people finding houses in Sky Valley, because every time she rents her house out, people come here, they wind up buying a house, so she had a good real estate.
It's not helping me that much.
Anyway, but still, man, the fact of the matter is that people are, these efforts are working, people are coming here to buy houses, and spending money.
Hey, Rhonda?
Question that's only slightly off the topic. Was Sean responsible for building that trail that replaces our access to the Raven Ball Trail?
Well,
Or was he
he
involved in
goes on to say, for the sake of time, I stopped there, but, with people, I gathered, we cleared 154 trees with chainsaws off the trails around Sky Valley. This is the Bartham Trail, Hogan Creek Trail, and Raven Ball Trail. These are all trails many of the Sky Valley residents use. We donated almost $5,000 in in-kind work. So, yeah.
I was up there this week and, took the dog up and, it looked a lot better than it did this, at the end of the summer. But I was just thrilled somebody would go out and do that because, I was upset when we were gonna buy the land and somebody beat us to it to secure that trail for the future. The new route is easier and better than the old route was, so,
Sean's up there right now.
hiking, it's a big deal.
Is there any way to reach out to Sean again, see how we could help him at this point? And see-
Yeah, I mean, in fact, I emailed him and I thanked him for the kind
Yeah.
words, yeah.
Right.
And I CC'd you the because he wants to represent me for next year, but yeah, he's up here all the time.
Okay.
Long hair, tattooed kind of guy, but very business savvy minded.
Okay,
Yeah, but he's a big proponent of Sky Valley.
so we're.
Young guy, probably 35 years old.
So from the marketing standpoint, he asked for funds or for signage or anything like that, he essentially, they're doing it all or what?
Yeah, I mean, like, again, we offer,
Yeah.
but they have to tell us what they want.
Yes.
Typically, it's, few $100, I think, last year, I think the city, I think gave $400, $400 for bottled water. Some of the residents, took like big old box of chili and we helped reimburse their tobacco receipts. And we reimbursed some of that, but out of our, cultural events funding that we have, but, anyway, yeah, I just wanted to share that, Gordon. I know that,
Thank you.
I know that wasn't on the agenda, but it definitely kind of ties into what we're doing here.
Do they bring up the crew in advance?
Oh, yeah, in fact, if you were, maybe went, got your mail over the weekend, you probably saw those porta potties and all of those bottles of water and things, they do it all.
That might be a great opportunity to do something for them if they bring a crew up here in advance, just to be clearing the trails and that sort of thing.
Okay,
To accommodate them,
okay.
something that would, whether it was I don't know, just some kind of event to let them know that how much they're appreciated in terms of what they're doing, because Sky Valley's gonna derive the benefit from us getting it in good shape again.
Would you like for me to maybe ask if he'd like to come to a meeting one day? I mean, that might be the best thing as far as him coming in and just kind of talking about what he does and then try to brainstorm if there's anything that, there's any kind of partnering opportunities.
Yes. I love that, yes.
I know that in the past, they used the waterfall trail as part of their marathon route. And it would be fairly simple to turn that into a loop trail. We have to put in a bridge, but we go from the waterfall down to the old bridge. The old bridge leads to a trail that goes up to Scotland Lane. The road goes up to another trail that goes off down below LaBelle Circle. And it gets almost back to the waterfall. So there'd be a little bit of switchbacking to get back down, and then we need to have a river crossing. But I think that would attract a lot more tourists as well, when it's not just an out and back trail, there's a loop trail, you don't have to cover the same ground.
We kept that one lot that is in proximity. to
Yes.
that.
Yeah,
When we surplused our lots, we pulled that lot because of its location.
right.
We'll put those dates on our calendar and, start taking a look and see what we have in availability.
And as my understanding, that just gets bigger and bigger because when he says 325, I think in the past it was like under 300, but they're adding participants and
Okay.
they sell out, and they sell out way in advance, so, yeah, it sounds like a really exciting event.
It can't be that many mountain runs.
On the
It's-
windows,
it's a
they'll be
great
added to your
place.
website? Or is it gonna link to what?
So it's gonna be on their website, the timeshare, they're redoing the
Yeah,
timeshare
I've seen
website,
it.
so the rentals will be linked to their timeshares that are not occupied
Okay,
during that time frame. So it'll be essentially like a VRBO
so it had to
booking,
be live, yeah,
yeah,
but then RVO, Airbnb wouldn't be, because you're saying that was such a big market to,
well, we can do both, so what we talked about is when someone reaches out to me for golf, and then they ask about accommodations in the past, I'm just saying, go on Airbnb or Airbnb and find places. What ends up happening is you get a group of like 15 or 20 guys, and they don't know the area because they've never been up here, and they book a house on Ridgepole, and then they book a house somewhere else, and they're in the valley. And on a map, it doesn't look far, but it's totally,
oh, yeah.
it's not very effective. So what Kim was saying is that if they have rentals available, and a lot of them are right there on
Oh, yeah.
Clubhouse line, you know, they could book there and just walk down.
We got 4 buildings sitting down on the 18th fairway, so, you know, it's a busy time of the year, but it could be that we have certain things that are available.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is potentially a really big win-win for
It
everybody.
is,
Yeah.
for us, for sure, and I think for everybody.
Gordon, following up on that, I have an interest in trails. And I think that's a wonderful opportunity for Sky Valley to continue to, much like you've talked about, Jim. But I'm interested in ownership too. I don't know where the developer, former developer or Merrill, and I don't know that history and background, nor do I know that. All I'm just getting is starting to get bits and pieces. But I certainly think that's something that we ought, from a marketing perspective, looking at the long-term benefits to Sky Valley, to have a comprehensive trail system. I think is a real plus, and my background was negotiating a lot of conservation easements and things like that, and making it beneficial for property owners to put something in conservation, then you have the assurance that it's gonna be there. And then, of course, you're always looking at maintenance, but, long-term. But I'd like to see us, I don't know whether, Jim, and I'm getting ahead, and we can put this on the agenda and it can be discussed, but I'd like to know more about ownership and who we need to be talking to, because I'm just throwing this out, if the developer of these remaining lots owns some lands that might be beneficial to us and is interested in us meaning Sky Valley, participating in the marketing, you know, there's some trade-offs there. And there may be some incentive for them to want to work with us in getting some of these lands set aside. We don't necessarily have to own them, but some conservation group could own them, or we could own them, Jason. I mean, just a question of, but, I think we ought to be looking at negotiating long-term in a nice way, in a diplomatic way, but keeping it on the front burner, so to speak. Because I just think long-term, it's a great opportunity for Sky Valley to create, again, some of those activities when the families come and the golfers are playing golf. For other family members, I love and we were just introduced recently to the trail along Mud Creek.
Yes.
And it's very nice. I mean, it's gonna require some work now because after the storm, but ownership and those sort of things are something we could always kind of be looking
Well,
at.
you're the right guy in the right place at the right time then.
I know I got us off topic real quick, but I just real quick, I'll say this about that and we'll get back on topic, but Merrill is really, who you're probably talking to, Merrill Trust.
I'm talking.
Anyway, I'm just saying, Merrill Trust is who we need to be talking to. And we've had those conversations because when that property got sold, Merrill is the one who has property that abuts the national forest up that way. And we talked with him about trying to get an easement. Well, as they are trying to decide what they're gonna do with their land, at this time, and I'm speaking for my conversation with Merrill Jr. And his team, they're very hesitant to give any kind of easement because they don't wanna do something that's gonna inadvertently mess up their development plans. I'm not saying that they said they will not do easements, but until they get a final plan in place, they don't wanna commit to something when they realize, well, that's gonna, we wanna put something right there, but we've got this perpetual easement right here, so we are at the point of that is that we've had
That's
some,
good, that's
we've
good.
had some conversations with them. And the wheels are in motion, but I don't know what that timeline is, and I will hustle to get back on the agenda.
That's encouraging.
That's encouraging. As we know, there's maybe 20-30% of that land is not developable too. And on
Yeah.
500-600 acres, there's probably 200 that really. Yeah,
Yes,
maybe there is trade. I love the
In the
early
Sky
discussions, yes,
Yeah, we,
yes.
so yeah, that's,
Jack.
Well, let's just keep it maybe on the front burner and keep communicating with them and.
Paul, you
Because
might
again, I
have
can't imagine them not wanting Sky Valley to get more involved with them in their marketing.
Yeah.
And that's the time when there's some quid pro quos.
well,
And not only that, it's beneficial to their development too.
Absolutely, yeah, they have access to it, I mean. But-
Paul, you've had comments in that community. You might share any, Paul, some of your comments in community, this kind of involvement. I know you've had discussions where communities that are sustainable and so forth, that having activities such as this part of the community. No.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me at all?
Yes, can you hear us?
Yes. Just one comment. I don't really have anything to add about the development or the sustainability at this time. What I would comment on is the mountain run. Jason, do they have video that, you know, that's an exciting event. Do they have any video of that that they could share with us for marketing purposes?
I can ask Sean, Paul, they do have a website, it's either bum run tours or run bum tours, if you Google that.
Yeah.
I think they may have some drone, but yeah, we can, I can ask Sean if he has anything he can share, or there might be something we could just capture off his, website. You know, get his permission, obviously, but, yeah, we can find that out.
Okay.
Yes.
The only other thing, as I've mentioned, is, Jack, I've got plans for a network of trails.
Oh, okay.
So that, you know, people could just walk out the front door and get on a trail and take a nice loop, hike around Sky Valley. The thing that we've been waiting on is to get Georgia Regional Mountain Commission involved, because they can help us map the trails and get the trails on maps of the right scale to be useful. And the point of having a trail plan would be to help Merrill integrate. I mean, you know, there's always workarounds. If they want to build on one spot, that's fine, you know, but if we've got our marker down that this is part of a trail system, you know, they can find another way through their development for it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Richard. That's a special, thank you, Jeff, very excellent comment. Okay, the next item is, the third GSAJ Women's Club Championship. I know I was gonna have a report on it, but just tell us briefly, Ryan, what went on and just on and up.
Yeah, so Morgan, who works for GSGA, who was my contact, normally they'll give us a 2-week kind of out. So we had Monday and Tuesday fully blocked for that event. They were expecting 60 to 80, and about 2 weeks out, she reached out and said that they had 14 people signed up.
Hmm.
So it was kind of on us to say, okay, well, we're not gonna do it. I gave her another week to try to drum up some more people. And I think she ended up with 28 total, so they ended up just canceling it. Some of the reasons were, it's too far, she said the election was part of it. I don't see how that is, but whatever. So we ended up just canceling the whole thing and, for us, it's not a big revenue source, it's more of a marketing source. It looks good on us to do it. I mean, we were only getting like $60 a player for it. And what ended up happening was we canceled it, we opened Monday and Tuesday, we had 100 players on Monday and like 70 on Tuesday, so. In the long run, it worked out better for us revenue wise, but it's just unfortunate, I'm in discussions right now with the Georgia PGA because the senior event that we had last year was really, really good for them, even though they only had 35 players. They would like to do not a senior event, a regular PGA Georgia event up here next year. So that's in the works right now. That would be a lot bigger, a lot more players, probably 80 players, multiple days. We're just kind of working out the kinks of it, so.
Thank you, to see how we can get involved, that's
Yeah.
good, for the marketing team, yes, yes.
Hey, Ryan, I had no idea it was canceled for the goodie bags, must have moved them. I worked on those and got them built, so next time, as soon as you are,
Yeah,
for sure, would you let me know?
okay, yeah.
Save those goodie bags.
Well, they're kind of female oriented, but yeah.
Right.
Well, we'll have another tournament, a ladies tournament up there probably this year, it's
Just
just.
a heads up, cause I didn't know till I saw Doug at
Nor
the
did I.
festival.
Well, I gave them an extra week to try to get more people, so, I mean, I was cutting it close anyways. And then it just kind of fell apart, so, yeah.
This guy's all over Facebook promoting.
Pardon me?
This guy's all over Facebook promoting Scott Valley with this phone. I'm just looking at this phone.
Right.
Yeah.
Very good, good discussions, let's go on, the next item is we talked about timeshares at Sky Valley. And so we're open, and but you're here, in terms of Kim, John, we had discussions last time, Jack, about it, but maybe you can just share what your idea is, you love the idea, you're interested in possibly being part of the marketing team, and some of your discussions, that it's music to us that over the years, we've been trying to find our work with the timeshares a lot, especially housing, stay and play, and it's just been, it hasn't gone anywhere, so to hear this positive response, it's really, it's enlightening.
Yeah, we're gonna take a real aggressive approach to that, for sure, and, we wanna, we're restructured our website now. It really leans toward, rentals and also purchases, so timeshares have kind of, aged out a little bit over time up there, a lot of people have, but then we just had, just for your knowledge, we're going through a termination period of time on a 50-year contract on timeshares. In other words, when they first started building them, I actually learned Slowski up here in the 70s, so that how far back I go with it. But we actually have put it to our owners to renew the timeshares for another 10 years or become tenants in common. And basically, our votes will be finalized next week, but the good news is that at first blush, all of our owners, majority of our owners want to stay as timeshares and continue as timeshares. So I think that's an important aspect in how much energy we put into next year on everything that we're doing as far as marketing. We're working closer now with the country club than ever, Ryan and Roy and Bill, that crowd. They're really doing great things with us, offering things for our owners to take advantage of, where they can use the clubhouse, they can, for dinners, created some revenue for them, but it also gave some new life to our situation. We do have a considerable amount of available units. Our only logistics there is getting a lot of the same ones in the same area, the same time, and everybody wants to play golf during the most beautiful weekends of the year, and so that's when they want to be here. So we got some logistics to do, but I want to assure you, we're taking a very aggressive approach to being a part of the team. We're excited about joining your marketing committee here. My question was, when do we need to pay our rent? So, you know, we're aggressively, next year is gonna be a really strong year for timeshares. We didn't want to do any real major updates until we got through this vote. And that would have been ridiculous to throw a lot of money at them and then everything changed. But now we will continue. We've got a real strong staff up there. And our ladies in the office, I think Ryan has a good relationship working with them. Danielle is great. So we're ready to jump in. We're gonna link all the website, our new website, we're linking to you guys link it to us. I would love to link up to this Run Bum guy, put it on our website as such. I'm already gonna put those dates on the calendar. We just take some accommodations and see what we have available those weeks now, get ahead of the game. So we got some fun things going on up there.
Very good.
Really do.
Cool. Good luck with it.
It's kind of
I know it's an interesting logistical problem that you've got to manage.
It is bad.
As I made a comment to Holly when we had a meeting, I said, we're under new management and things are gonna be different.
Very good, that's really refreshing.
Very, really excited.
Yeah, I know Jack, we talked about the timeshares and what you're doing. Good to see you painted around the pool area. I said, that looked nice. And I said, wow, it's very nice.
Yeah,
To see that. And of course, there's always the concern. I know you had the issue, how do you update the units itself? Now, that's a big deal. I know Jack used to talk, a lot of the golfers that come in, I don't know, families, you know, the overall Sky Valley is really positive. It's really happening. And we want to give them really a positive, when they come here, a very positive image of it. And housing is part of it. You know, they're coming in, you see the VRBOs, they're updating them, and then they're busy. These people are gravitated, they like to see updated units. I know
A lot of
that's
our
an
units
issue.
have not been updated
Yeah.
over the years.
Yeah,
and it's-
updating is
It's
really,
time for that to happen.
yes, yeah, it really is part of what's gone on. Some of the units have not been updated and that's why it's a good challenge.
We have to tread a thin line though, because we've got some hard-nosed
Yes.
owners that have been around forever, and they don't want anything to change.
Yes.
We got the same issue.
Well, that's where you can pick and choose,
Yeah.
depending on quality.
Right, yeah, right. Some of it you have to try to negotiate, and some of it you just have to slip in and hope that they don't rebel.
But we want to get through this hump first.
Yeah.
We wanted exactly where we were gonna head and what we could do, and what we were gonna be in a position to do. And so the next time I get the taser gun out is to get some updates and cleaned up on some of the units there. So, and updated, we can't do them all at one time. We got 10 associations up there. As John says, we've got people that still want to pay 1970 prices for their maintenance fees.
Yeah.
So, you know, we have to sell it, but everything that we're doing is, I think we're creating a lot more excitement.
Great.
And John, we're totally under new management.
Well, you know, I mean, I'm familiar with the situation that I'm involved in Florida. And it's okay if somebody wants to be left behind.
Right.
Well, you can still love them and be friends with them, they just don't get the advantages of the ones that want to upgrade.
Exactly.
It's real simple.
And
It's hard sometimes, but
Some of it's a matter of selling the idea, and some of it you just have to push ahead regardless.
well, we got overwhelmingly excitement about continuing as timeshares. But you can't have it both ways. If you want to continue timeshares, then we're gonna update it. So, you know, get on and get off. And, you're right. I don't want to leave you behind, but if we have to, we can still love them, but be friendly with them.
Well, there's a potential opportunity too, in the sense with, if some people want out or don't want to be involved, that's a potential purchase opportunity. There may be ways to swap units in such a way that you've got a whole building, a whole association
that you get to manage as you see fit. And I suspect there are investors that would want to be involved
There are,
in something like that.
we take a lot of calls on that, and we're certainly thinking outside the box on a lot of different things, a lot of different opportunities there. And right now, the hunt was to continue his timeshares and then get them updated and I push back on pushing forward on rentals and pushing forward on purchases and sales. And, you know, I don't want to take a lot of time, but we do have kids that, don't want their parents' stuff, you know?
Sure.
I got a garage full of it.
Yeah.
And, they just say, you know, I used to love coming up there with my mom and dad, but I don't care anything about it. I want to go to Disney World for my vacation or go on a Disney cruise or something like that. There's just not timeshare people. So that's been a situation, a little bit of aging out there. So one of our biggest focuses is the excitement of Sakai Valley and the excitement of the timeshare concept again. And then we'll certainly think outside the box.
We've learned a lot over the past few years about your organization.
Yeah.
And the one thing that we have certainly learned is it's complicated.
It'd be extremely complicated.
It has its moments too.
Can you
Just to
say,
give you a little update, I own 12 weeks up here and we've been owning for about 10 years now. I live in Dunedin, Florida, and so I'm up quite a bit up here, but I was president of Wingfoot, and then by being the president there, John was president of Glen Abbey, and we were actually on the board. And then Jerry Sperling stepped down as president, and I guess I was standing there when everybody else stepped back.
I'm glad you were. Congratulations.
So at any rate, we're really excited about it, and we're taking a really aggressive stance at getting heavily involved in what we need to do.
Right.
when you say selling and purchases, is that where someone could act, are you talking about buying a timeshare or buying a unit?
Buying a timeshare a week,
Okay.
you know.
We're hoping that as we do more rentals, that people will get accustomed to the idea and say, hey, I'd like to go back next year, the next year, you know?
We're not gonna have bad countertops in every single one of them, but we're certainly gonna do some changes.
Great. Very good.
There's a lot of millennials out there who are finally getting real jobs and finally starting to make some money, and they're finally at the age where they can afford, you know, a timeshare. You know, there's always been a strong linkage between timeshares and.
We're finding the fact that there's been a lot of bad press over the last few years about timeshares, and a lot of people think, well, okay, I don't mind the cost to get into it, but I don't like that every year for the rest of my life, you know? And
It's amazing that several folks that we know that went in timeshares and then bought homes. And that goes on a lot, that's a big deal, that's not on. And
that's what we're hoping with the rentals, is that we
Yes.
can get people
Yes.
here, get them interested, and then they'll
Yes.
buy a timeshare, and then maybe they'll buy a home in the
Yes,
area.
absolutely,
That was one of the original motivators of the success of Sky Valley.
yes.
We rejuvenate them. You guys are gonna be, I think you'll be pleased. I know you will be.
Glad to hear it, very good, thank you for the report. Next item, website update, Sharon, anything there?
It's updated constantly. I mean, right now we're focusing on fall and leaning towards winter now, so we'll keep on going with it.
You know, yours, just what Sharon has done, and of course Irene and Sharon and Jason, we're ages ahead, I mean, so far ahead of our website, it used to be. So she's doing an incredible job, updated, yes,
It's a real success story.
yes, it really is. Up to you, yes, you've done a great job, and Jason, especially hiring Sharon. That was the best thing. Wow. Okay, Sky Valley Visitor Center update, Jason, anything to add at all?
And I don't want to take too much of what Sharon may add, but busy time of year, a lot of people walk-ins, we continue to try to make it as hospitable as we can. Sharon has got a lot of new stuff in, unique stuff. probably gonna be starting the middle of the day pretty soon, I guess. I'll stop there, so you can kind of add, but, that's kind of Sharon's baby on the visitor side, so she may be the best one that to chime in on that.
Yeah, we're just adding new things, people still coming strong. A lot of them will still use the interactive kiosk and then want to see pamphlets of what our main problem right now is they want to get to Highlands and that's, but that's okay.
Okay, Sky Valley Fall Festival, you might want to just recap it, Jason.
Good crowd. I don't know if we had the crowd we had last year. I don't, there was some, unfortunately, some misinformation that went out about the road being closed to Highlands. A lot of people thought that we were closed. We had some commitments. I know Sharon had reached out to the food trucks. They didn't show up. There was 4 of them supposed to be here. I know the club kind of stepped up and, opened up your little kitchen there and sold some stuff.
We got hammered.
I was gonna say, I figured that's how hard it is.
It's a good feature to have.
Well, I mean, and I know you guys can't do anything about them not showing up. It's just, we were expecting like half of the crowd that because of the food trucks, and then it was the entire crowd.
Right.
And then they were going over to the snack bar and the turn, and we had 100 players that day, so it was just. And again, it's all good, and we worked it through, but I think next year, I mean, either we can just do all the food and not do any food trucks, or just do like the snow cone guy, and then we'll be prepped to do it.
Yeah.
And do something like that and make it a lot simpler.
I like that idea, just because, I mean, we have tried food trucks 2 solid years. And last summer of 23, they came pretty steadily. Then people either change locations, or it's too far, it's too high, gas has gone up. The crowd, we might provide 40 people, it's not enough.
Yeah.
So, I'm kind of anti-food truck right now. I love the idea.
Well, I mean, what Becky, our chef, did is she came up with a menu a few days before that was just like, basically everything was $10, $10 burger, $10 hot dog,
Which was
fries,
perfect.
Yeah.
chicken nuggets and stuff like that. So it was simple stuff. It was just, we did not expect to have everybody.
Well, we'll get back to you as we plan.
Yeah, so next year, if we wanna do it, we'll do it. And we'll, staff it accordingly and have stations and stuff on the patio, cause it's great for us. And then just not do food trucks at all. That might be better for all of us.
Except Cone Ice.
He did well. He said a lot of his business is contingent upon the weather. When the sun comes out and it's warm, he sells a lot of shaved ice. It's kind of cloudy, but he said he did good.
Yeah.
Now you learn, we're gonna have a debriefing meeting here pretty soon, special projects.
Yeah.
You learn something every year, what works, what doesn't work. It was very congested down behind the club,
Yeah.
pavilion area, where all the vendors were at. We had a lot of people that were where the vendors at, we were able to direct them that area. I think a little shuttle thing we did work very well, the way we were doing that. And then, there was something just came to mind, but,
I mean, I think putting it over where we did this year was a lot better, because it was a loop. So
Yeah.
people wanted
the
to-
food truck, the car show was a huge success. It seemed like there was a lot more cars than we anticipated.
It was a great car show.
We still need more volunteers, and again, this will be discussed in our special projects. Thank you to Sharon and our staff. It's an all-day event for us, but we love it. But we still, I think, we rely too much on the staff to do things. As I say, we can order the stuff, we can get everything in place, but it's the city's festival, not the staff's festival. We can make it good, but it's the volunteers, they can make it great. Give you an example, we had a couple of staff members that had to leave. And it kind of put a burden on some other things that had to be done, but, we got through it. But, I did notice the numbers weren't, so I think there was many people here this year, but everybody's doing fall festivals in October, a lot of competition. But, I think it was well received and, I always enjoy it. I think, it's a lot of work, a lot of fun, and I just want to thank all of the Haydale participants this year. Y'all came in second place. You know, it was a good time, and it just gets bigger every year.
The location I discussed for the vendors, is the club still, is that something? What's, I happen to like it there, but, what's the old comment about it? Location versus, the vendors over at the old pub?
I think just, you couldn't see them on the road. We had a little bit of signage, probably a little bit bigger signage next year. But just the fact that you can't see, and then, the only other thing, and this has nothing to do with marketing, but just from you live in there and you move on. With the hurricane relief, the trailer was back at the very back. And people were pulling up wanting to bring cases of water, and they were not happy when they realized they couldn't drive back there to do it. But we were able to improvise. We actually took our trailers that we were shuttling people with, and we were actually loading that stuff up, and we were driving the shuttles, the little Kubotas would go back there. So we were able to do that. That probably should have been a little more visible. Maybe if we'd have put that donation trailer, maybe like where the food truck was gonna be at or something. But I mean, the donations got where they needed to be, but we had a lot of people like, where's the donation trailer? We want to donate it.
We were taking them to the pro shop too.
Yeah.
It's like, we had like a whole pro shop full and hallways full and, but it's fine. I mean, they all got it, so thank you.
Yeah, it was very successful. I know the Boy Scouts, they were very, they did very well on their sales, so.
We actually still let them park in our lot, so I had already, the security, and we blocked off the other entrance, and when they came in, he would check them off the T-sheet, and they could park. I mean, we still have parking spaces at noon in our parking lot, which never happens on most days, so it went well. I mean, on our end, it went well, it's just, I wish those, the food truck thing, either let's not do it at all, or just let us do it.
Good. Well, next item would be the, of course, we were talking about hay bale, and we're excited, we're second place. Jack, you were involved in it. Thank you very much.
Our chair was so organized for this.
Awesome.
It was Gordon gets the credit.
No, I don't, it was Jim and the kayak, I think it was fun putting together, and the ladies, it was good, thank you, it was great. The signage, thank you for the signage, you was put together.
And we're gonna leave those tables out for a while.
That's what I wanted to know.
It's really up to, you'll just let us know, like, hey, we're done. Some people have already taken their
Yeah,
decorations off, but some of those, last year, they got repurposed for Christmas.
Christmas,
yeah.
So,
Take your pumpkin head off and
so,
put a
so
sun
for
hat.
example, the bear.
Yeah.
My daughter actually painted the bear.
Yeah.
She painted Doug's, yeah, she's kind of taking those rings from Mayor Holly this year, so, but, we're gonna keep, as long as the weather stays cooperative and they don't start deteriorating.
Yeah.
Well, they should be, I'd love to leave them up till Thanksgiving, but we'll just have to see how they go. If they start falling apart,
Yeah.
we'll move them, but, some of them stayed until Christmas last year. And we'll do everything we can to do that for this year.
How about your kayak, Jim? I know you need probably.
Yeah, I'd like to get back on the
Yeah.
river
Yes.
between now and Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I got that, I got some fishing stuff there too, so I.
Yeah, that gets bigger.
Halloween is probably.
I think we're talking, yeah, Halloween,
Yeah.
I agree,
It was,
31st, that's tomorrow.
Today.
Oh, today, yeah.
Get your kayak.
Yes, my wife's gonna ask. Yeah, we're thinking about taking it down tomorrow.
and the timeshare is coming in third
Well,
place.
they were ecstatic.
It's really that community that selects.
I got a phone call, it said, you're just not gonna believe it.
Oh, that's great.
The community that selects, they all want to be anonymous because of the politics of it, but, it's very, that they really look at that, trying to pick first, second, third, and of course, the POS again,
Yeah, I love it, they put a lot of effort
the
in.
G
Right.
was,
Great.
That was awesome.
It's high visibility, nobody misses it.
Oh, here's, pass it down. This is the budget here. We'll look at just a preliminary, we're not gonna spend a lot. That's it, we'll get the copy. Everyone have a copy? Thank you. Jack, you have a, I got extra, give it to Jack. Here. All I want to do in the budget, this essentially shows what we have, what we did last, this sort of what I put together in terms of a budget. And this shows the budgets from last year, sort of a worksheet, and then going into 2025. And this shows the identity, what was approved, essentially in a budget. The first thing we have to do is get a commitment in terms of funding. And then the second part of it is our expenses, and this will show your expenses, detailed expenses, and you can look at the second part, and then you'll look at the second page, and you'll see what Jason provides us in terms of current expenses, what we have off that budget. So, we're really good shape in terms of budget this year in terms of expenses. What I would like to see us do, look at this, don't have to do it today, but look at it. And then we want to set up our next meeting and then approve the budget. I like to have the budget approved this year so that going into the next year, used to always be they kick it down next year.
Right.
But this year we did it, we approved it the current year, and I'd like to approve it this year, so the next year we're ready to roll. So in terms of, first part of it is just in terms of, commitment in terms of money, and that obviously is everything. We got additional funding there if in this case, if we get the co-timeshare involved. But look at it now, I don't want to go into it all, and then our next meeting, I want you to look at it, and then maybe you can discuss it ahead of time, and then review it and approve it. So that's it, and the other part would be, any comments on this in terms of, the other thing I wanted to add, what would you like to add? What are items we might want to add to the budget that's current year? And the next meeting, I'll update this and have our current expenses, compared to, our budget. So if you see something you want to add, think we should add to the budget, we can discuss it. Items that you think are really important, I ask them important. Okay, any questions on it all?
We've already approved, our board has, joining, so that'll need to show as your income.
Okay, so we're gonna add on, in this case, Brooke, that's gonna add on, fantastic. So in this case, we're gonna add on $5,000 in terms of the.
Well, that's,
income.
we're assuming y'all want us,
We do, but
We
we're
want
charging
you.
7.
And what you're talking about is it just be very positive, very positive.
And I think POA had already committed.
Yeah, the
I think
POA,
Jack,
I believe if the POA is committed, the club, I believe, if they don't, I would be very surprised it wouldn't, and I think the city, Jason.
Yeah.
We have the budget drafted, we'll be having public hearings next week on that, but we had, the budget may actually be reduced a little bit, but, we had to park $5,000 as we've done in the past couple of years.
Okay,
So there is money set aside, so if off the presumption that every entity gave 5,000, that's 20.
that's
That'd be $20,000, which would be basically your budget for this year was 19, I think 8 or
yeah,
something.
right. There was a.
So, yeah, that would give you similar operating,
Right.
and.
And we have some carry, I know we're gonna have some carry.
Yeah, but you do, of course, that, anytime that can just stay in the bank account, that's good too, but yeah.
If we needed it for some issue, you're saying.
Yeah, you'll just have to, come back and have.
So if emergency comes up, the money is there. Okay, does that make
There
sense?
may be some advertising opportunities that'll come up.
Yes, right. Promote, yes. Very good. So, I guess, in terms of, the club, I don't see any issue with the club, do you?
I don't think so.
The club with what?
Yeah, no, $5,000, we're all trying to get it for $5,000. We haven't increased it to inflation, we've just kept at the last couple of years, so we're getting a real deal. we're looking at the club with every entity, in case now timeshare is 5,000.
Yeah,
For the club, and the city has already got.
the city manages the website.
Yeah. Yes,
Just a question for our budgeting purposes at TSSB, do we, I think we actually budget money for our hay bale expense and a couple things like that. Will that be in this 5,000 or we pay that still additional? That's fine, it's not a problem, I just want to make sure that we
yes,
start budgeting it up.
yes.
We provide the hay bale and the base coat and then everything.
Okay, good, thank you.
The questions come up, please ask. Questions are, okay, very good. New ideas, marketing programs, again, we've already discussed it. Paul, Doug, essentially want to do, we want to talk about it, and then we want to include those ideas in terms of next year's budget. So things come up, give ideas now or not, think about it, and then we'll include that. All right, any other business at this point?
I'll offer for the benefit just, of the committee, and Ryan's heard this, but, we attended a soft opening for a new restaurant. In Clayton, with the Sequoia Creek. Sequoia Creek. And I guess one of those owners lives in Sky Valley.
Haha.
And it's very nice. I think they're gonna do well, but we happen to be sitting out front where the actual traffic in Clayton. And it was absolutely amazing to me. Now, the one thing I can't factor in is how much of this might have been going to Highlands, but I really don't think a lot of it would have been. I think Clayton has been discovered and not putting so much emphasis on Clayton, but if people have good restaurants and a place to go, it's certainly gonna benefit Sky Valley, without question. And what I suspect is going to start happening based on what I've seen in Florida, anytime you start to see a good hub, you're gonna see more residential development. Now, that'll obviously facilitate the sale of lots in Sky Valley, but you're gonna see more residential development in and around Clayton, in my opinion, over the next 5 years or so, because that's gonna be a big draw. And of course, you know, I think our marketing effort just folds right into all of that in terms of Sky Valley being the place to be.
Yeah.
But, I
What's it
just.
called, Tacoma, what?
Stokoa Creek.
Creek, yeah, the food was very good, I might add.
We'll put that link on our website, you know.
And,
I'll follow.
but, I think you can be gearing up, because I think if this economy holds, I think it will. I think you're gonna see a lot more activity.
Well, a good example, my wife, she always brings up furniture shopping. They do the Highlands, but they're spending more time in the Clayton area. They love the shops. And you totally agree
My
with
wife
you.
had the same attitude about Clayton and Franklin.
Yes, yes.
It's,
Well, and then when they finish that redesign of the Dillard House, I mean, that's just gonna kick it into overdrive. Because that whole place is gonna be freshened up and redone and new restaurant there, or an updated restaurant there, more activities. So, that Legacy Ventures company that bought it they're dumping like 2.5 million into it. And, I mean, it won't be open for another year or two, but when it does, I mean, we've already talked to them about partnering with golf, because they're not gonna go to, what's the course down there? Kingwood.
Yeah.
Kingwood's having all kinds of issues, and we're already seeing people come from Kingwood to Sky, so.
Yeah.
It's gonna be, like, we talked about this in the board meeting, we've talked about it before. We're already starting to look into buying more golf carts, adding more places for drinks and food at the club, just to accommodate this new amount of people that are gonna be approved.
Wow, very good.
So,
That's good news.
Very good. Okay, the item is, again, our next meeting date, normally we meet in the last Thursday of the month, but of course, that's gonna be Thanksgiving, so I'm asking you. I want to, and I don't think we need a meeting, we've got things pretty well, if we clear up the budget this year, I don't see we need to have another meeting except for the budget, so I'm asking you, for the budget, should we have the next meeting the 21st or December 12th? So I'll leave it up to committee, I'm open either way. A week before Thanksgiving, that's only 3 weeks away, if you go the 21st,
No,
or
let's
the
go
12th.
to December.
Pardon me?
Let's go. I prefer December.
You prefer what?
December.
December 12th? Okay,
Because nothing's gonna happen in 3 weeks.
got it.
I mean, we'll have a little more about the city budget, but
The other thing we're looking at too is the city meets, and I want to get the city to approve, they have to approve our budget. When is the city meeting?
The regular scheduled meeting is December 17th, which would be the third Tuesday, which would be after
So if we met on the 12th, we approve, the committee approves it, then the city could approve it, correct?
If they meet, yeah.
yeah, or we had a special call meeting, I mean, we could, I could run that to the mayor and council,
Okay.
see what works, but, I suspect we will have a meeting in December, there's always some
Okay.
end of year stuff that we need. Yeah, but as we get closer to that, I'll let you know.
So the 12th, the next meeting, the 12th, and then we should have enough time for the city to finish this year. Good.
And even if it wasn't approved in December, you got December 31st.
Okay, so it's
Meaning that we have our organizational meeting in January. So, you know, it has been years it's been approved, and also, but you got time.
Okay, great. Okay, any other comments at all? Good, so our next meeting will be December the 12th. Do I hear a motion to?
So moved.
Okay, second?
second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Thank you. Good.
Forward Raven.
Thank you, Paul.
Could start marketing. Raven.
Thank you very much.
Thank y'all. Have a good day. Good weekend.